In a world where words don't seem to mean much and noise dominates, a question arises. Can we show our value without saying anything? Can we understand what the people around us really mean? According to the ancient philosophy of the Stoics, yes, we can. They believed that courage was essential and could be shown through actions, not just words. Today, I invite you on a journey where we discover how to recognize our own worth and become examples for ourselves and others. Stay until the end to learn valuable lessons that will strengthen you in the face of any challenge. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and like the video so I can continue producing content like this. In this video, we'll explore how to engage in something real and genuine, understanding our worth through the ancient and enduring vision of Stoicism. Yes, Stoicism. It's not just about being serious or enduring pain, but about understanding what really matters in life, especially in our relationships. Show who you are with pride. But before you think that a Stoic is someone without smiles, let me clear things up. Being Stoic is not about hiding your emotions or being indifferent. It's about knowing where to focus your energy. So let's talk about what it means to present yourself with dignity. In relationships, sometimes we try so hard to impress someone that we lose who we really are, changing our appearance, adapting our language, all to gain approval. This is where Stoic wisdom comes in. Your dignity is not in what you wear or the places you go, but in how you act, in your actions and choices. Imagine this. You are in a cafe and see two friends on a date. One is trying to get attention, while the other is at ease with himself. Who do you think will leave a better impression? The authentic. That's the power of presenting yourself with dignity. Stoics value living with integrity and self-respect. This is important today too. If you like something, show it. Let it shine. It's not about being someone different. It's about feeling good being yourself, knowing that you are special just the way you are. And there's one more important thing. Treat yourself well. How you treat yourself influences how others will treat you. When you treat yourself with respect, you are showing the world that you expect the same treatment. In relationships, it's not just about how you see yourself or what you say, but how you act and react. Do you respond with desperation or with dignity? Do you sacrifice your values just to fit in, or do you stand your ground even if it means being alone? This doesn't mean you need to be perfect. We all make mistakes, we all go through difficult times. The important thing is how we deal with them. Do you give up under pressure or face it head on and learn from your mistakes? Let's think about how we can show more dignity in our everyday lives. One way is to establish clear and healthy boundaries in relationships, communicating firmly but respectfully what we accept and what we do not accept. This helps us protect our emotions and maintain a standard of mutual respect. Imagine you are the captain of a boat called Integrity. This boat represents who you are, your convictions, values, and principles. Now sometimes, as you sail through the seas of life, you may encounter islands that are not on your map, places that simply don't make sense to you or that go against everything you believe. That's where the power of no comes in. When we say no to something that is not aligned with our values, we are defending the integrity of our ship. We are protecting the route we choose to follow. For example, if someone asks you to do something that goes against what you believe is right, saying no is like lifting the anchor on your boat and moving forward without compromising your principles. By saying no, we are not being rude or selfish. We are simply honoring who we are and what we believe. We are showing the world that we have dignity, that our values are important, and that they deserve to be respected. Saying no when necessary is a powerful form of self-preservation and authenticity. So the next time you're faced with a situation that doesn't resonate with who you are, don't hesitate to say no and protect the integrity of your boat. Let's think about a situation. You are in a work meeting and you are asked to do something that goes against your ethical convictions. Saying no at this time can be difficult, but it's a way to maintain your integrity and show that you value your beliefs and principles. Additionally, learning to say no can help establish healthy boundaries in our relationships. This means recognizing our own needs and priorities and communicating them clearly and respectfully to others. By doing this, we are creating space for true and meaningful relationships based on sincerity and reciprocity. Another way to demonstrate dignity is by treating others with kindness and respect in our daily lives. Knowing that each person we encounter is human and has their own experiences and feelings, we can cultivate empathy and compassion in our interactions. This helps us build more genuine relationships and strengthens our connection with others. When we begin to recognize and value our own dignity, we radiate confidence, security, and self-esteem that those around us notice. This influences how others see and treat us, creating a positive cycle of respect and mutual appreciation. Now, I know what you're thinking. No, please, not another lecture on self-esteem. But wait a minute, because here we are not going to talk about looking in the mirror and repeating compliments to yourself. So what does Stoicism have to do with recognizing your value in relationships? In fact, a lot. The Stoics teach us that the key is to focus on what we can control, and our self-esteem is completely in our control. It's not about how many likes you receive on Instagram or whether someone adds you on a social network, but about how you see and value yourself. Think about it another way. Imagine that you are a precious jewel. Not everyone recognizes the value of a rare gem. Some may ignore it without realizing its true value, but that doesn't change the fact that it is valuable. It remains rare and exclusive. This is what you are. You are genuine, unique, and valuable. Your value doesn't diminish just because someone doesn't recognize you. Let's face the truth for a moment. We all face moments of rejection at some point, feeling like we're not good enough, especially today where it seems like everyone is living perfect lives. But this is where Stoicism reminds us of something important. Our worth does not depend on what others think, but rather on how we live our lives, our virtues and our actions. Are you kind? Is it honest? Are you living according to your principles? That's what really matters. Imagine yourself as an explorer of the depths of your being. You are about to embark on a journey to discover the treasures hidden within yourself, your noblest qualities, your most precious virtues. Close your eyes and delve deeply into your own essence. As you explore, notice the characteristics that make you feel truly good about yourself. Maybe it's your generosity, that innate willingness to reach out to others when they are in need, or maybe it's your courage, the ability to face challenges head-on, even when fear lurks. Or perhaps it is your ability to be an attentive listener, capable of offering a friendly shoulder in times of tribulation. These qualities are not just superficial adornments. They are the anchors that anchor your soul, the stars that guide your path. When you deeply understand these virtues, something magical happens. Your relationship with the world around you transforms. You no longer accept disrespect, not because you are arrogant, but because you respect yourself enough to not allow such behavior in your orbit. Now here's a Stoicism secret for you. When you encounter situations that make you feel slighted, instead of giving in to sadness or anger, turn to your qualities and values. It's not about boasting or becoming arrogant. It's about gently reminding yourself that you deserve recognition, that your virtues deserve to be celebrated. It's a simple yet powerful practice that can bring a new perspective to life's challenges. Imagine yourself in a situation where your efforts are not recognized or where someone makes an unpleasant comment about you. Instead of letting these words get you down, take a moment to reflect on your own qualities and achievements. Remember your past successes, the times you overcame challenges and showed resilience. This will help strengthen your confidence and self-esteem, reminding you that you are worthy of recognition and value. As Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic emperor, said, "You can control your mind, not what happens around you." Understand this, and you will feel stronger. This quote reminds us of the importance of maintaining control over our thoughts and perceptions, even when faced with difficult situations. By focusing on our own mindset and how we choose to interpret events around us, we can develop a greater sense of self-confidence and emotional resilience. When we talk about relationships, we enter an area where understanding and appreciating our own worth becomes very important. It is crucial to understand that our value is not just based on what others think of us, but is deeply rooted in how we see ourselves. It's something we need to remember every day, a constant practice that encourages us to cultivate and strengthen our self-esteem and inner confidence. Each morning when we wake up, we have a chance to reaffirm our worth, even if other people have different opinions. It's about recognizing that we are important, worthy of love and respect, not because someone tells us so, but because we firmly believe it in our hearts. Imagine yourself as a fearless traveler, navigating the deep waters of your own being. You are on an epic journey towards the island of self-acceptance and understanding, where the winds of authenticity blow gently and the stars of self-perception shine brightly. As you progress, you discover secrets hidden beneath the waves of uncertainty and self-contempt. You realize that your worth is not something that can be measured by the passing opinions of others, but rather something intrinsic, intertwined with the very essence of your soul. With each discovery, you come closer to the truth. You are precious, not because of what you do or what others say, but simply because of who you are. It's as if each step on this journey of self-knowledge was a seed planted in the fertile soil of your self-esteem. As these seeds germinate and grow, you begin to see the blossoming of a new understanding of yourself. You realize your unique qualities, your special skills, and the enchanting nuances that make you uniquely you. As you continue your exploration, one thing becomes clear. Your value is a treasure that resides deep within you, waiting to be discovered and celebrated. You are not subject to the changing tides of other people's opinions, but are a radiant constant on the horizon of your own heart. So continue your journey with courage and determination, knowing that each step brings you closer to the promised land of self-acceptance. For when you truly understand your own worth, the world around you illuminates with the light of your authenticity, and you become a guiding star for other sailors in search of their own inner truth. Understanding that we can develop and strengthen our worth over time gives us control over our lives and relationships. This frees us from the need to seek approval from others and allows us to live with solid confidence and self-esteem. Ultimately, it's about finding courage in our own worth, even if others don't recognize it, and remembering that we deserve love and respect simply by being ourselves. Action with limits. It's not enough to talk, you need to act. This is especially true when it comes to setting limits. It's easy to tell someone what your limits are, but showing it through your actions is what really matters. Think of it this: anyone can say they don't accept being treated badly, but the real test comes when faced with this situation. Do you defend your limits or let them be exceeded? Therein lies your true power. He is not in words, but in actions. This can be difficult, especially when feelings are involved. But remember what our Stoic friends taught us. We control how we react to situations. If someone crosses the line, it's your reaction that sets those limits, not just your words. For example, if you've made it clear that you value honesty and someone lies to you, how you deal with it is important. Walking away or addressing the issue directly and calmly shows that you respect your own limits. It's not about creating confusion, but about respecting yourself and being respected according to your values. This approach can change the dynamics in relationships. When people realize that you have boundaries that will not be crossed and values that you are determined to uphold, they begin to understand what is acceptable to you. It's about cultivating a sense of self-respect and maintaining it. This is where true Stoicism comes in. It's not just about the big limits, but also the small daily limits. It's how you react when someone cancels plans at the last minute or when someone takes you for granted. You communicate with calm actions and words that this is not acceptable. Practicing mindfulness is more than just being present in the moment. It is diving deeply into the experience of the now, carefully observing every thought, emotion, and action that arises within us. On this journey of self-awareness, we invite ourselves to question and reflect on how our actions reflect our personal limits and core values. By being fully aware of the present moment, we give ourselves the opportunity to evaluate whether our actions are in line with our limits and authenticity. It's like constantly checking in to see if we are acting in accordance with what we think is right and important, or if we are acting differently just because of external pressures or expectations from others. This means we think a lot about everything that happens and how we react to make sure we are being honest with ourselves. It's like being an observer of our own limits, recognizing when we feel good or uncomfortable and taking steps to protect ourselves emotionally. Imagine yourself walking through a peaceful garden at dawn. Every step you take is an opportunity to reconnect with yourself and the world around you. As the sun slowly rises above the horizon, you feel enveloped by a sense of calm and clarity. These simple moments are like little mirrors that reflect who we are and what we value. When we are truly present, we can observe our reactions and learn about our own limits. Sometimes it's in everyday conversations with co-workers or interactions with family members that we discover where to draw the line, when to say yes and when to say no. The practice of mindfulness invites us to be aware of our emotions and thoughts, even in the most mundane moments. In doing so, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. This clarity allows us to act with integrity and firmness, maintaining our own personal boundaries without compromising our kindness or compassion. By adopting a somewhat stoic approach to our daily lives, we recognize that setting boundaries is not a sign of coldness or insensitivity, but rather an act of authenticity and self-respect. Just as trees in a garden need space to grow and flourish, we also need space to care for ourselves and nurture our own vitality. So the next time you find yourself faced with a difficult decision or challenging situation, remember to take a deep breath, be present, and honor your own limits with compassion and determination. For it is in these simple moments that we build the foundation of our character and become who we truly are. It's not just about setting strict rules or being stubborn in how we relate to each other. Ultimately, it's about developing an internal guide that tells us how to act and react in different situations. This inner guide, based on Stoic teachings, leads us to recognize our own limits and values and act in accordance with them at all times. It doesn't mean closing ourselves off from the world or building barriers around us, but rather establishing healthy boundaries that show who we are and what we consider important in life. When we live this way, people around us notice. They see us as individuals who not only have clear boundaries, but also have enough respect for themselves that others respect them as well. It's as if we're sending an invisible message that says, "This is who I am, this is what I value, and I'm not willing to abandon my principles to please others." This stance not only helps us build truer and more respectful relationships, but also strengthens our self-esteem and confidence. By living within our limits and values, we become an example of integrity and authenticity in a world full of uncertainty. Imagine yourself as the keeper of a vault full of treasures, each one representing your energy, time, and attention. These resources are precious like sparkling gold coins, and you are responsible for guarding them diligently. It's not about being greedy or stingy, but about recognizing the intrinsic value of each of these resources and investing them wisely. Stoicism invites us to take a conscious approach to controlling who has access to these resources. Just as you wouldn't hand over your treasure to just anyone on the street, you shouldn't scatter your energy, time, and attention indiscriminately. Instead, reserve them for those who truly value and respect what you have to offer. Think of your resources as pillars that support your life. If you distribute these pillars indiscriminately, you risk weakening your own foundation. However, by exercising discernment about who has access to these resources, you strengthen your foundation and build more authentic and meaningful relationships. By controlling who has access, it's not just about protecting yourself from negative influences. It's also about cultivating an environment that nurtures your growth and well-being. By making conscious choices about how to invest your resources, you are honoring your own worth and building a life that reflects your deepest priorities and values. In a world where everything is just a click away, this approach may seem somewhat contrary. However, it is like a breath of fresh air amidst the rush and constant search for our attention. Controlling who has access to us means protecting our energy and inner peace, ensuring that they are reserved for those people and activities that truly deserve it. Think about the times when we are close to someone, like when we are dating. There is often a rush to share everything, our time, our space, our deepest thoughts. But the Stoics would advise taking a step back, because something that is always available often loses its value. It's the same with people. If you are always there, always saying yes to everything, where is the mystery, the depth, the expectation? Now let's talk about how to control access in a dignified and stoic way. First, it's about how you present yourself. Dress elegantly but modestly. It's not just about fashion, it's a statement that you value yourself. You're not hiding, but you're not revealing too much either. Everything has a balance, a feeling that there is more to you than meets the eye. Imagine your time as a valuable resource, a rare currency that you can only spend once. Every minute is a unique opportunity, and it's up to you to decide how to invest it in the best way possible. In a world where connection is constant and demands are endless, being selective about who you share this precious resource with becomes a powerful skill. It's not about playing a power game or creating unnecessary barriers, but rather about recognizing the intrinsic value of your time and choosing how to use it wisely. When you decide to spend time with someone, you are making a genuine investment in that relationship. Being present in body and mind, without distractions, is a powerful way to show your commitment and appreciation. On the other hand, when you choose not to be available, it is not about rejection or disinterest, but rather about prioritizing your own life, your passions, and your personal growth. By taking moments for yourself, you are cultivating your own happiness and well-being, becoming a more fulfilled and well-rounded person. So the next time you're faced with choosing how to spend your time, remember the invaluable value of this resource. Be selective, be intentional, and most of all, be true to your own goals and values. In doing so, you will be building a life that truly reflects who you are and what you value most. Stoicism also teaches us about emotional control. This does not mean becoming cold or distant, not at all. It means maintaining an inner calm, not letting anything affect us deeply. You keep your emotional energy to yourself, not giving it to anyone. And remember, I'm not suggesting you become a statue. After all, we are all human, and connection is what makes life special. But there is beauty in taking it slow, in building a connection that isn't just instantaneous and fleeting. It's about building something that has substance, something that lasts. Always remember that limiting access does not mean playing with other people's feelings or manipulating situations for our own benefit. On the contrary, it is an act of self-respect and consistency with our deepest values. Limiting access means showing, not just with words but with concrete actions, that we value ourselves and deserve to be valued by others. Likewise, it is a process that involves being a little more discerning in our interactions, a little more cautious in our decisions, and a little more measured in our expressions. It's about finding the balance between sharing openly and at the same time keeping a part of ourselves, protecting our emotional integrity and self-esteem. In adopting this approach, we follow in the footsteps of the Stoics. In our modern world of dating and relationships, we are committed to living by our deepest principles and setting clear boundaries that reflect our dignity and self-worth. Imagine that you are the captain of a ship sailing the seas of life. You have the power to set the course and determine how you want to be treated by others. Just like an experienced captain, you know that steadfastness and cohesion are essential to maintaining control of the situation, even in the face of the most challenging storms. When you value yourself and act with the determination of the Stoics, you are sending a powerful message to the world around you. It's saying, I know my worth and I won't accept less than I deserve. This stance is not arrogance, but rather a deep respect for yourself and your principles. By taking this approach, you are establishing healthy boundaries and showing others that you are not willing to compromise your integrity for fear of loneliness or lack of acceptance. It's as if you are raising a flag atop your ship, announcing to the world that you are in control of your own journey and that you will not allow anything or anyone to divert you from your course. By doing so, you become an inspiration to those around you, showing them that it is possible to navigate the seas of life with courage, determination, and authenticity. And as you continue to walk your path with confidence, others will naturally be drawn to your light and the example you represent. Focus on actions, not words. Stoicism invites us to delve into practical wisdom, to evaluate people not just by what they say, but by what they do. In a world full of empty promises and sweet words, this approach can seem challenging. However, the Stoics remind us of the importance of observing actions as they reveal the true essence of a person. It's simple to say what we think is right or what others want to hear. Promises can be made with ease, and a perfect future can be painted with words. But it is the actions that validate these words. They tell the true story. When someone demonstrates integrity, commitment, and consistency through their actions, it speaks much louder than any eloquent speech. Therefore, instead of being carried away by seductive words, the Stoics invite us to carefully observe how people behave in different situations. Your actions reveal your true values and priorities. It is through this lens of actions that we can truly understand and judge someone's character. Let's be practical for a moment. This happens to everyone. When we meet someone new, they tell us wonderful things that make us excited, but over time their actions do not fully match. They promise to call and don't. They make plans and cancel at the last minute, but their words still hold us back. This is where our Stoic side needs to come into play. Stoicism teaches us not to let ourselves be carried away by words or dominate our emotions. It's about being logical and seeing reality as it is. If someone's actions don't match their words, it's a warning sign. It's as if the universe is telling us, hey, pay attention, something isn't right here. This shift in focus really changes the dynamics of our relationships. Instead of getting carried away by words and romantic promises, we start to notice the little details, how they act under pressure, whether they walk the talk, whether they are truly there for us, not just with words, but in a tangible way. And the most interesting part of this is, when we focus on actions, we establish a pattern and convey a clear message. I'm not just listening to your words, I'm watching your actions. People around us realize that they can't just talk nice to be part of our lives. They need to show their value and their real intentions with concrete and consistent actions. This change in perspective helps us to better discern in our relationships. It allows us to distinguish between words and actions and helps us build truer, deeper bonds based on mutual trust and genuine respect. Ultimately, it helps us cultivate healthier and more satisfying relationships, where consistency between words and actions is key. Adopting a Stoic mindset in love means being logical, mindful, and insightful in our personal interactions and relationships. It's understanding that at the end of the day, it's real actions that truly reveal people's feelings and intentions, much more than simple words. Thus, by incorporating this philosophy of life, we empower ourselves to make more conscious and informed decisions in our relationships based on a deep understanding of reality and an honest assessment of ourselves and others. Be prepared to distance yourself. In Stoicism, we find a valuable concept: detachment. This is not coldness or insensitivity, but rather recognizing what is within and outside of our control. One of the most powerful things we can control is the decision to stay in or leave a situation that doesn't serve us. This extends to relationships. We often find ourselves in circumstances that are not good for us, but we still hesitate to leave. Maybe it's the fear of loneliness, the fear of change, or simply the hope that things will get better. At the heart of Stoicism lies a powerful truth: control over our own choices and reactions. It's as if we have the reins of our lives, capable of directing our destiny as we wish. Imagine yourself as the captain of your own ship, sailing the seas of existence. You have the power to adjust the course whenever necessary, according to your values and principles. This power is not in the ability to control external circumstances, but rather in the ability to choose how we respond to them. When we find ourselves in situations that go against our values, Stoicism teaches us that we are not obligated to remain in them. We can choose to act differently, aligning our actions with what really matters to us. While this choice can be challenging, it is also a demonstration of strength and authenticity. Instead of passively surrendering to circumstances, we take control of our own lives and emotional well-being. This doesn't mean we ignore our emotions or needs. Rather, it means recognizing our own worth and committing to our own growth and happiness. Practicing detachment is not about repressing our emotions, but rather recognizing that we deserve to be in environments that strengthen us and in relationships that inspire us. It is an act of self-care and authenticity, where we honor our values and commit to our own well-being, even if it means making difficult decisions. This does not mean that at the first sign of trouble we should simply give up. Relationships require effort, commitment, and patience. In fact, it's about knowing your own worth so deeply that when something doesn't feel right, you have the confidence to walk away. It's about having that inner strength, that stoic courage to say, I respect myself enough to not accept less than I deserve. Let's explore this topic a little more. Being prepared to step away is an act of self-affirmation and self-care. This means having the clarity and inner strength to recognize when a situation or relationship is not in line with our core values and our dignity. But it's important to emphasize that this doesn't have to be dramatic or tumultuous. Often, it's just a calm, conscious understanding that we deserve better. Yes, it's true that facing the unknown can be scary and uncertainty can seem intimidating. However, it is in these challenging situations that we remember the teachings of the Stoics, who encourage us to face adversity with courage and accept that life is always changing. Recognizing that you have the courage to let go of what no longer serves you is like making way for new opportunities and experiences in your life. It's like opening the doors to grow and renew yourself. It's understanding that we are not holding on to a situation out of necessity or fear. We are making a conscious choice to care for our emotional well-being and happiness. By having the courage to leave behind what no longer nourishes us, we are taking a step towards a happier and more fulfilling future. We are saying yes to ourselves and to the opportunities that await us beyond what we already know. So as we consider the idea of being prepared to walk away, let's remember that this courageous and authentic attitude allows us to embrace new opportunities and experiences in life. It reminds us that we deserve to live fully and that we have the power to create the life we want. As we sip our coffee and let these ideas sink into our minds, let's remember that being ready to walk away doesn't mean being indifferent or distant toward others. In fact, it's about demonstrating self-love and a deep respect for ourselves, which gives us the ability to recognize and maintain our own limits and needs. When we say, I deserve better, we are not criticizing others, but reaffirming our own worth and dignity. It's about understanding that we deserve relationships that respect us and help us grow emotionally and as individuals. By having the courage to let go of what no longer serves us, we are strengthening our self-esteem and recognizing our deepest needs. This act of distancing not only frees us from harmful situations, but also allows us to reflect on what we truly value in our relationships. As we develop this skill of discernment, we become more aware of patterns that may be harmful or toxic. Recognizing patterns in our relationships is like discovering an emotional treasure map. When we identify that a relationship is no longer nourishing us, we are taking a crucial step towards our emotional well-being and lasting happiness. It's like making space for us to flourish in fertile soil, allowing our true essence to flourish. By putting ourselves first and opting for authentic and satisfying relationships, we are gifting ourselves with a journey of self-discovery and growth. It's like choosing an enlightened path where our energies are directed towards connections that make us feel alive and fulfilled. Prioritizing our emotional well-being is not selfish. It's a wise way to protect and take care of ourselves. It's like watering our inner garden, ensuring that every flower in our soul blooms in all its beauty and authenticity. So when we're ready to step away, we're reaffirming our self-worth and establishing healthy boundaries. We are communicating to the world and to ourselves that we deserve to be treated with respect and consideration in all of our interactions. It is an act of self-love and a commitment to a life that honors our true essence. Thus, by stepping away, we not only free ourselves from what harms us, but we also make space for new opportunities and experiences that lead us to an authentic and fulfilling life. The power to say no. In Stoicism, we highly value personal integrity and the courage to defend our principles. This is especially important when it comes to saying no in relationships. It's about knowing what we believe and not being afraid to maintain our standards. Imagine you are in a relationship and your partner suggests something that you don't agree with. It may be too quick to change or compromise your values in some way. The easiest option would be to just agree. But that's where we need our stoic Selves to say no. It's a matter of respecting ourselves and our values. I'm not saying this is easy. In fact, it can be very difficult, especially when we care about the person. There's always that voice in our head saying, what if this drives her away? But that's where we need to be brave. Stoicism teaches us about the courage to face not only external challenges, but also internal ones. Saying no is not just a matter of self-respect. It's showing that we value ourselves enough to not accept less than we deserve. We may lose someone, but here's the thing. If saying no to something that goes against our values turns someone off, then maybe, just maybe, they're not right for us. Imagine yourself as the captain of a boat sailing through the seas of life. When you demonstrate the courage to say no, it's like adjusting your sails to sail in the direction you want. You are charting your own course, guided by your values and principles, rather than being carried along by the currents of others' expectations. By setting limits and refusing what is not aligned with your values, you are building a safe haven for yourself. It's like building a protective wall around your essence, defending yourself against external influences that could compromise your integrity. This is not only an affirmation of self-respect, but also an act of self-knowledge, where you recognize who you are and what you genuinely want. By rejecting what doesn't align with your values, you are honoring yourself and your relationships. It's like polishing a rare jewel, revealing its true essence and inner shine. You are not being selfish by saying no. It's being true to yourself and others, creating deeper bonds based on authenticity and mutual respect. Saying no goes beyond a simple word. It is a reflection of what we value and who we are. It is an act of courage and self-knowledge, a firm way of establishing our limits and priorities. When we say no, we are exercising our right to choose and maintaining our loyalty to the deepest principles we have. The Stoics understood the importance of this act as a fundamental part of living with integrity. For them, being authentic was crucial, and saying no was a way of demonstrating that authenticity. By refusing something that is not in line with our values, we are maintaining congruence between our beliefs and our actions. Saying no is not just a denial, it is an act of asserting our own will. It's a way of putting our needs and emotional well-being first. It is a declaration of authenticity, proof that we are in control of our own lives and that we are not easily influenced by external expectations. Therefore, by saying no, we are positioning ourselves as those responsible for our own lives. We are asserting our right to choose and refusing to compromise our integrity for fear of disapproval or social pressure. It is an act of taking care of yourself and asserting yourself, fundamental to living a truly authentic and meaningful life. When we make the decision to set boundaries and express our needs honestly, we are building the foundation for healthier, more genuine relationships. Imagine these boundaries as fences around our emotional space, protecting us from unwanted intrusions and maintaining a clear boundary between what is acceptable and what is not. By communicating our boundaries clearly and respectfully, we are showing others how we want to be treated, creating a ground of mutual understanding and respect. Saying no may seem challenging at first, but it is an essential step on our journey of self-discovery and personal growth. By learning to say no when necessary, we are affirming our own self-esteem and worth. It's like taking a step towards emotional freedom, breaking the chains of social conformity and taking control of our lives. Through this act of authenticity, we are empowering ourselves to live in accordance with our principles and values without compromising our integrity or authenticity. Remember, saying no is not just a denial, but a positive affirmation of who we are and what we believe. It is an act of self-affirmation, where we are defending our own interests and needs, without giving in to external pressure or the fear of rejection. By recognizing our ability to say no when necessary, we are empowering ourselves emotionally and taking charge of our lives. It is a courageous step towards authenticity and personal empowerment, allowing us to live with integrity and dignity in all our interactions. When you use the power of no, you are actively shaping the course of your relationships, setting clear boundaries and protecting your own identity. It's a way of prioritizing your needs, recognizing that your emotional health and values are as important as anything else. Additionally, by expressing no respectfully and firmly, you are clearly communicating your expectations to others and encouraging honest and open communication. This creates an environment of trust and mutual respect, where everyone feels comfortable expressing their own needs and limits. Saying no when necessary not only strengthens your self-confidence, but also strengthens bonds in relationships, establishing a solid foundation of understanding and mutual respect. Healthy skepticism, a trait shared between Stoicism and many other philosophies, is a lens through which we can see the world more clearly. Imagine it as a pair of special glasses that allow us to see beyond illusions and expectations, helping us discern the truth behind appearances. When applied to relationships, this skepticism protects us from falling into emotional traps and empowers us to make more informed decisions. In love and relationships, we often get carried away by emotion and refuse to see the warning signs. It's as if we were watching a romantic film, where fervent passions overshadow our view of reality. However, as we adopt a Stoic mindset, we begin to question these illusions and look beyond the shiny surfaces. It's not about being pessimistic or suspicious, but about cultivating a healthy sense of judgment. Having a little skepticism in our relationships is like having a protective shield against false promises and unrealistic expectations. It does not mean that we should be cynical or cold, but rather that we should pay attention to the signs and act wisely. By cultivating this mindset, we are empowering ourselves to choose more carefully who we associate with and to invest our time and energy only in true, meaningful connections. It's a way to protect ourselves as we navigate the complex maze of love and relationships. If you are enjoying of the content so far, consider becoming a member of the channel. In addition to helping to bring more quality content, you will have access to exclusive videos from the channel and any upcoming videos released. Thanks. Imagine this situation. You meet someone new and immediately feel attracted to their warm personality and charming words. They show a sincere interest in building something together, even if it's just the beginning. Then the Stoic side within you kicks in, saying cautiously, "Let's take it slow, seeing if her actions match her words and how it all plays out." This way of thinking is not about being overly suspicious, but about having healthy discernment. It's listening to what the person says while observing how they act over time. It's taking time to get to know someone beyond first impressions, allowing their true personality to gradually reveal itself. Stoicism reminds us of the importance of not getting carried away just by pretty words or promises of a perfect future. Instead, it encourages us to remain realistic, see things clearly, and tread carefully in relationships. This approach protects us from getting involved in situations that may not be authentic, or that may conflict with our deepest values and goals. The Stoics were good at balancing emotion and reason, understanding that we shouldn't get carried away by emotions alone in relationships. Finding this balance can be challenging, as our feelings often speak loudly. However, embracing a little skepticism can help our mind evaluate situations objectively and clearly. By adopting skepticism in relationships, we don't blindly give in to our emotions. Instead, we take a step back to analyze situations with discernment, making decisions based on reality and our true needs. This enables us to distinguish between what is good for us and what could threaten our emotional well-being. Furthermore, having a slightly skeptical attitude gives us the chance to take care of our hearts, avoiding possible disappointments or hurt feelings. By not rushing into situations without fully understanding what is happening, we are taking care of ourselves. It's not just about building walls around our hearts, but about opening doors with care and discernment, letting new connections develop in healthy ways. By being a little skeptical, we are not closing our hearts. Rather, we are keeping them open in a conscious and protected way. This allows us to explore new connections with clarity of mind, while preserving our emotional health. It's a way to face the challenges of relationships with wisdom and authenticity. If you're not feeling wisdom and authenticity, it could be chronic anxiety in your mind. This is a horrible problem in modernity that stops us in time while our lives pass by. To do this, I made a video explaining how to overcome this problem using Stoic philosophy together with modern psychology. Click on the link in the first comment and see it right now. Understanding that no one is perfect, is an important part of Stoic teaching, which guides us to understand the true nature of life, to follow the natural course of things, and to embrace reality with calm and tranquility. When it comes to love, these lessons are essential. By embracing a Stoic perspective, we realize that both we and those we love are flawed and face life's challenges and human limitations. Instead of seeking perfection in ourselves or others, we value authenticity over appearance and find beauty in vulnerability and sincerity. By accepting these imperfections with understanding and compassion, we make space to grow together and form genuine bonds. Practicing acceptance and understanding gives us the opportunity to build strong, meaningful relationships where authentic connection and mutual support have great value. Instead of resisting reality or trying to change others to satisfy our desires, we learn to adapt and accept circumstances as they are, finding peace and contentment in the present. When we accept things as they are, we recognize that all of us, including ourselves and others, are imperfect. We understand that it is normal to make mistakes and face difficulties in relationships. Instead of judging, we try to be kind and understanding, knowing that each person is doing the best they can with what they have. It makes us think about the feelings of others, empathize with their struggles, and understand their perspectives. In doing so, we build stronger bonds based on mutual support and understanding. Practicing acceptance and understanding in relationships is like watering the plants in the garden of love. Just as plants need water to grow and flourish, our connections need acceptance and understanding to strengthen and develop. When we accept reality as it is, without trying to mold it to our will, we are nurturing the fertile soil for the growth of true love. Imagine love as a delicate plant. She needs attentive care and a conducive environment to thrive. Likewise, our relationships need mutual acceptance and understanding to grow healthy and strong. By accepting our partner as they are, with all their virtues and imperfections, we are demonstrating genuine and unconditional love. When we water the garden of love with acceptance and understanding, we are allowing the seeds of connection and affection to germinate and flourish. Each gesture of acceptance is like a ray of sunshine that illuminates our partner's heart, nourishing love and strengthening the bonds that unite us. It is through this constant practice of acceptance and understanding that we build lasting and meaningful relationships where love can fully grow and prosper. On the path of Stoicism, we learn to find beauty in all parts of life, including romantic relationships. By accepting people as they are, we understand that each person is unique with their own qualities and defects. This helps us build real connections based on acceptance and appreciation of what each person brings to the relationship. Furthermore, compassion is very important. When we practice compassion, we put ourselves in someone else's shoes, trying to understand their feelings and needs. This strengthens our emotional bonds and allows us to offer each other support in a sincere and loving way. Therefore, by cultivating acceptance, understanding, and compassion in our relationships, we are building a solid foundation for true and meaningful connection. It's like caring for a delicate plant. It requires attention, patience, and dedication, but the fruits harvested are sweet and long-lasting. Don't chase. This principle is important, especially when applied to Stoicism. This philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what is beyond our reach. This also applies to relationships. It means understanding that pursuing someone who is pulling away is not helpful and goes against our own worth. Imagine you are in a relationship and you feel like the other person is distancing you. It's natural to want to resolve things immediately, but the Stoics would remind us, why pursue something we can't control? Where is our dignity and self-respect? Running after someone who is moving away is like trying to hold water in your hands. It's no use and leaves us frustrated. True courage lies in letting go of what is not good for us, making room for something better. It's like organizing your room to create space for clarity and newness. Although it is difficult to move away from what hurts us, it is a way to take care of ourselves and be true to ourselves. The Stoics teach us to maintain our confidence in our own worth. If someone walks away, let them go. It's not about being insensitive, but understanding that we don't control the feelings or actions of others. We can only control how we react. Let's be honest, it's not simple. It takes a lot of courage not to give in, to resist the urge. But it's about trusting that if someone really cares about us, they will stay. When we stop chasing, we start focusing on ourselves, and wonderful things happen. We attract people who are attracted to our determination and self-confidence. It's as if we're saying, I respect myself. Let's adopt a Stoic stance in our relationships as true architects of our own happiness. Imagine yourself as a master builder, building a fortress of self-esteem and dignity. This fortress is not built with bricks or concrete, but with our actions, choices, and limits. It is a solid structure, capable of resisting the strong winds of doubt and the rains of external criticism. When we adopt this stance, we focus on what we can control, our reactions, our choices, our limits. We do not seek external validation, as we know that our true source of power is within ourselves. We are like lighthouses, radiating light and safety to others, but also standing firm and secure, anchored in our own dignity. Accept this power as a valuable gift that you carry within you. Let your actions speak louder than your words, showing the world how amazing you are. By acting with integrity, self-respect, and compassion, you not only demonstrate your own worth, but you also recognize the worth of others. It is a delicate dance of balance and self-confidence, inspired by the wise teachings of the Stoics. Remember, courage is not just about talking, but showing it through our actions. When we choose not to pursue, we are freeing ourselves from the search for external validation and recognizing our solid internal worth. This requires courage and self-knowledge, as it involves trusting ourselves regardless of how others treat us. It is a way to strengthen ourselves, affirming that we are worthy and do not depend on other people's validation. When we decide not to pursue, we are practicing detachment, something the Stoics valued. This means letting go of unrealistic expectations and accepting reality as it is, which helps us better deal with life's changes and challenges. By letting go of the desire to control everything in our relationships, we find more freedom and inner peace, living according to the Stoic principles of acceptance and tranquility. By choosing not to pursue, we are strengthening our self-esteem and cultivating a deep respect for ourselves. Instead of exhausting ourselves trying to reach those who are moving away, we recognize our own limits and value our emotional needs. This act of self-compassion allows us to establish a pattern of healthy relationships, where mutual respect and emotional care are priorities. When we decide to distance ourselves from situations that are not good for us emotionally, we are making it clear that we deserve to be treated with respect and consideration. This act not only preserves our mental health, but also creates a solid foundation for true and important relationships. Furthermore, by giving our partner space and freedom, we are cultivating an atmosphere of mutual respect and trust. Instead of imposing our expectations and demands, we allow our partner to be authentic and genuine in their way of being. This approach strengthens emotional bonds, promoting a balanced and harmonious relationship where both partners feel free to truly be themselves. Ultimately, by choosing not to pursue, we are also showing respect for each person's unique journey. We recognize that everyone has their own time to grow and develop, and we respect everyone's right to follow their own path. This helps us to be more understanding and supportive of others, and frees us from the pressure of trying to control how relationships unfold. Instead, we trust the natural flow of life and open ourselves to the learning opportunities that arise along the way. Unconditional love is more than just an expression. It is a central pillar in Stoic philosophy that leads us to embrace humanity in its entirety, with all its nuances and complexities. Imagine yourself as a gardener, tending a garden where each flower has its own unique shine, its own imperfections that make it special. Likewise, unconditional love invites us to look at each person with the eyes of a gardener, appreciating their inner beauty even when there are thorns. When we apply this concept to ourselves, we are watering the seeds of self-acceptance and self-love. It's like embracing ourselves in moments of weakness, recognizing that we do the best we can with what we have. Instead of criticizing ourselves for our flaws, we choose to embrace ourselves with kindness and understanding, knowing that we are worthy of love and respect, regardless of our imperfections. By practicing unconditional love for ourselves, we are strengthening our emotional resilience and cultivating a solid foundation of self-esteem. It's like building an inner sanctuary, a place where we can take refuge in moments of doubt and uncertainty. Here we become our own best friend, our greatest advocate, nurturing an inner voice of kindness and compassion that guides us through the storms of life. So the next time you find yourself in front of the mirror, remember the unconditional love you deserve. Recognize your own beauty, your own strength, your own humanity, for it is through this love that you become truly complete, a radiant being of authenticity and inner brilliance. Furthermore, demonstrating unconditional love for others goes beyond just showing empathy and compassion for their experiences and difficulties. It means accepting them as they are, without trying to change them or judge them for their actions or choices. Being there for others in their difficult times requires more than just offering a shoulder to lean on. It involves creating a true and deep connection with those around us, which includes listening carefully to them, understanding their concerns and fears, and providing support, even if it takes us out of our comfort zone. By embracing unconditional support, we not only demonstrate our empathy and compassion, but we also solidify our relational bonds. Committing to being there for others in difficult times is a powerful way to build relationships based on mutual trust and respect. It is worth highlighting that unconditional support is not restricted to crises. It also encompasses celebrating the victories and achievements of others. By sharing the joy of their triumphs, we are reinforcing the feeling of solidarity and companionship, essential elements to strengthen the bonds we share with those around us. This attitude not only lifts the spirit of the person celebrating, but also creates an atmosphere of support and encouragement within our relationships. Therefore, when we practice unconditional support, we are not only offering our friendly shoulder in difficult times, but also sharing happiness in moments of joy, thus creating an emotional support network that enriches and strengthens our daily interactions. This approach allows us to nurture deeper, more meaningful relationships based on reciprocity, compassion, and shared joy. Forgiving is a journey of emotional liberation, a road that takes us from the weight of resentment to the lightness of acceptance and inner peace. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack full of past hurts. With every step, you feel the weight of these negative emotions pressing against your shoulders. Forgiveness is like untying the knot on that backpack, allowing you to let go and feel the relief of letting go of this burden. When we forgive, we are not minimizing the pain we suffer or validating the actions of those who hurt us. Instead, we are choosing not to let hate and resentment define us. It's like opening a dusty window and letting the sunlight in, illuminating the dark corners of our soul with compassion and understanding. Forgiveness is an act of self-compassion, a way of freeing ourselves from the emotional prison we have built around our hearts. It's a gift we give ourselves, an opportunity to start over without the weight of the past weighing on our shoulders. By forgiving, we are choosing self-love over resentment, peace over anger, freedom over emotional imprisonment. So, the next time you find yourself holding the burden of resentment, remember the transformative power of forgiveness. Give yourself permission to let go, to release the weight that is holding you back. For it is in this act of forgiveness that you find true freedom, true healing, and make room for a new chapter of peace and happiness in your life. By committing to unconditional love and forgiveness, we not only strengthen our bonds with others, but we also enrich our own personal growth. Choosing to forgive and love without conditions frees us from the weight of resentment and hurt, making room for significant personal development. Unconditional love invites us to accept people as they are, with all their imperfections and flaws, recognizing their intrinsic value as human beings. When we choose to forgive, we are choosing to let go of the emotional weight of the past, allowing us to move forward with lightness and clarity. This act of forgiveness not only benefits those we forgive, but also frees our own souls from the chains of resentment. At the same time, Practicing unconditional love teaches us to see beyond others' flaws and value their unique humanity. As we commit to unconditional love and forgiveness, we cultivate a more compassionate and tolerant approach toward others. We recognize that we all make mistakes and that true strength lies in the ability to forgive and move on. This attitude helps us create deeper, more meaningful relationships based on mutual acceptance and genuine support. And as we grow in this process, we become more compassionate, empathetic, and heart-centered people. Establishing a solid foundation of mutual understanding and respect challenges us to show compassion and empathy, even when we are hurt, and keeps us open to the possibility of reconciliation and deeper understanding. Additionally, forgiveness helps us let go of the past, releasing resentment and creating space for personal growth and emotional healing. It allows us to close painful chapters and opens us to new opportunities for love and genuine connection. In short, practicing unconditional love and forgiveness allows us to build healthy, meaningful relationships based on mutual acceptance, respect, and personal growth, offering us the chance for a deeper connection and a more fulfilling life. Don't put your whole life in someone else's hands. Sometimes we tend to idolize others, losing our own direction in love. By following your own path, you will realize your own worth. No one can affect you without your consent. Don't allow others to control you. This phrase reminds us that we are responsible for our inner peace and emotional well-being. In a world where external criticism and judgment are common, it is important to understand that we have the power to decide how they affect us. Taking control of our minds and emotions calls us to be authentic, to be ourselves without fear of what others think. By internalizing this Stoic teaching, we become the masters of our own destiny, strengthening our self-esteem and self-respect, making us more valuable to others. Therefore, when we face challenges and criticism, let us remember Marcus Aurelius's wise observation: "No one can harm you without your consent." This philosophy reminds us of the importance of remaining true to our principles, even within an intimate relationship. When we apply this thinking to our romantic relationships, it means ensuring that the relationship is in harmony with our most important values. This includes thinking about what these values are for us and how they show up in our daily lives and in our relationships. For example, if we value sincerity and trust, it is crucial that the foundation of our relationship is honesty and open communication. Likewise, if we value respect and equality, we must ensure that our interactions with our partner reflect these principles. Making decisions based on our values also means staying true to ourselves, even in the face of challenges or external influences in the relationship. Making a commitment to live in alignment with our values in a relationship is like planting the seeds of a flourishing garden. It requires courage to make difficult decisions, like setting healthy boundaries or even recognizing when a relationship is no longer serving us. It's like taking care of a garden. It requires patience, dedication, and sometimes the courage to prune the withered leaves so that new shoots can grow. When we commit to living according to our values in a relationship, we are building a solid foundation of honesty, respect, and authenticity. It's like building a sturdy house brick by brick, where every action and decision is shaped by the strength of our convictions. This commitment not only strengthens our own personal integrity, but also creates fertile ground where trust and respect can flourish. Just as the roots of a strong tree intertwine in the soil, our commitment to our values unites us to our partner in a unique and powerful way. So the next time you find yourself facing a challenging decision in your relationship, remember the commitment you made to yourself to live a life that honors your deepest values. For it is in this commitment that lies the true strength and true beauty of a loving relationship. Setting healthy boundaries means recognizing our emotional and physical needs and communicating them clearly and respectfully to our partner. This allows us to protect our energy and well-being while also promoting open and transparent communication. On the other hand, ending a relationship that is not aligned with our ethical values can be a painful decision, but it is often necessary to preserve our integrity and authenticity. By making these difficult decisions, we are honoring ourselves and our deepest values. We are choosing authenticity over complacency and prioritizing our happiness and personal growth. When we do this, we are building relationships that are built on solid, lasting foundations, where both parties feel valued, respected, and free to truly be who they are. Following our values guides us to act in accordance with what is important to us in life and how we relate to our partner. For example, if we believe in loyalty, we strive to be faithful and trustworthy. If we value generosity, we look for ways to support and care for our partner in a selfless way. This harmony between our values and our actions creates a sense of sincerity and authenticity in the relationship, where our partner sees us as whole and trustworthy people, strengthening our mutual trust. Furthermore, living by our values inspires our partner to do the same, promoting growth and understanding between us. Following our values also helps us face challenges and conflicts that may arise in the relationship. When we face difficult situations, we can turn to our values as a guide to make ethical and constructive decisions, which allows us to resolve problems respectfully and constructively rather than compromising our principles or acting impulsively. Ultimately, living according to our values in a romantic relationship not only promotes our own happiness and well-being, but also enriches the connection with our partner. By building a foundation of integrity and mutual respect together, we can create a solid, satisfying relationship that lasts over time. Virtue is more than just a set of good deeds. It is a deep commitment to being authentic and compassionate in our romantic relationships. Imagine virtue as the foundation of a solid house. It is what supports the entire structure of our love. When we practice virtue in a relationship, we are committing to not only being honest and loyal, but also being true to ourselves and our partner. It's like watering a delicate plant. Every drop of sincerity and compassion helps our love blossom and grow stronger every day. Being virtuous in a relationship means being brave enough to be vulnerable, sharing our deepest fears and dreams with our partner. It's like opening the curtains and letting the sunlight in. It reveals all the dark and hidden corners, but it also illuminates every beautiful and true aspect of our love. Furthermore, loyalty in a virtuous relationship goes beyond physical fidelity. It's an unwavering commitment to being there for our partner, no matter what challenges we face together. It's like holding each other's hands in a storm. Even when the wind blows hard, we know we're safe together. Therefore, when we practice virtue in our romantic relationships, we are building more than just a partnership. We are cultivating a source of love and support that will sustain us throughout our lives. It is a noble yet rewarding commitment that helps us grow and flourish as individuals and as a couple. Being present in difficult times is crucial, offering support and empathy. Compassion, part of kindness, leads us to understand our partner's feelings and be there for them. In a relationship built on virtue and respect, we cultivate trust and mutual support. This means not only recognizing our partner's value, but also helping them grow. It involves listening to their opinions, understanding their point of view, and making decisions together. It is also important to express gratitude for what they do, strengthening our emotional bond. Respect is fundamental to a solid and happy relationship where love flourishes. Practicing virtue in a relationship means living with honesty, loyalty, compassion, and respect, building an authentic and lasting connection. When we commit to cultivating these traits, we are laying a firm foundation for meaningful connection. Allowing others to engage with us is recognizing how special and valued we are. It's not just about being present in someone's life, is to be an essential part of it. Understanding that what is difficult to achieve is more valued reminds us of the importance of mutual effort in a relationship. When we invest time, energy, and emotions in someone, we are strengthening the bonds that unite us. It transforms our presence from something temporary to something genuinely appreciated and meaningful. Desperately seeking attention is not the way to build true relationships. Instead, we must demonstrate our value through actions that show our commitment and support for others. By doing so, we deserve and receive the other person's genuine interest and involvement in our lives. True appreciation comes not just from words, but from constant effort to nurture and strengthen the connection we share. Allowing other people to invest in you involves giving them the opportunity to make your presence something invaluable in their lives, something they value and wouldn't want to lose. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, A jewel cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. This means that our true value is often revealed in moments of challenge and difficulty, where we are shaped and refined. To exemplify this idea, we can tell the story of Alexander the Great and his teacher Aristotle. Aristotle was not only a tutor in the young prince's life, but also a guide to wisdom and strategic thinking essential to governing an empire. Alexander, recognizing the value of Aristotle's teachings, devoted considerable time and effort to absorb his teachings. This relationship between student and teacher goes beyond the conventional. She shows how mutual investment can lead to meaningful connection and extraordinary personal and intellectual growth. Just as Alexander became one of the greatest leaders in history, we too can thrive when we allow others to invest in us and strive to learn and grow from their contributions. In this video, we deeply explore 11 important principles for building strong, meaningful relationships. We discovered that unconditional love, inspired by Stoic philosophy, is like a beacon that guides us to accept what we cannot change, seeking serenity and being authentic in our interactions. Living in alignment with our values not only makes us people of integrity, but also inspires our partner to do the same, strengthening the foundations of our bond and mutual understanding. By allowing others to care about us, recognizing our intrinsic value, we build a foundation of trust and respect that enriches our shared journey. Practicing virtue in a relationship is more than just being honest and loyal. It also involves an ongoing commitment to personal growth and mutual support, nurturing a connection that lasts over time. Adopting a Stoic mindset is like opening a door to a world of self-discovery and deeper relationships. Imagine yourself sailing through the waters of life in a strong and resilient boat. Even in the face of storms, you remain calm and confident, knowing that you have the power to direct your own journey. By embracing Stoic principles, we not only learn to deal with challenges with equanimity, but we also learn to know ourselves better. It's like looking in the mirror and finally seeing who we really are with all our virtues and imperfections. This self-knowledge allows us to build authentic and fulfilling relationships where we can truly connect with others on a deeper level. These principles are not just words on paper. They are powerful tools that empower us to pursue happiness and fulfillment in our daily lives. By applying them to our everyday interactions, we transform not only our relationships, but also ourselves. It's like watering a plant. As we cultivate compassion, acceptance, and serenity in our lives, we see a fuller, more satisfying existence blossom. And remember, true growth doesn't just happen in moments of deep reflection, but when we put these principles into practice on a daily basis. It is in the small gestures of kindness, the way we treat others, and the way we deal with challenges that we truly find a more authentic and meaningful existence. As we close this video, I would like to express my gratitude for your presence and dedication. I sincerely hope that the ideas we shared were helpful and inspiring to you, guiding you on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. Relationships are like a constant journey, where there are always opportunities for learning and growth, even in the most challenging times. If you've made it this far, please share in the comments. I'm ready to incorporate these principles into my life. Together we can create a community of mutual support and growth,